Hello, welcome back to Smileys.
Welcome back.
So, in case you missed it, this is the last episode of season 2. Our discussion of the last chapters of Forge of Darkness, 19 and 20. Spoilers all, and I do mean all. We've gone over this before. We're 10 episodes in, you know this. We know this. Let's go. Before we move on, Maura and I have a fairly important message about the nature of these discussions.
We do? We do?
We do.
Because I just said that we don't have much to discuss, right, for these 2 chapters. There's hardly any spoilers on, is what I told you. And
yeah, it's down to self-indulgence at the end of the day.
it's the last episode, so it's fine. It's fine.
So who cares? So pray, do indulge us.
Or don't. It's okay.
Or don't. So we're gonna do a recap. Do you want to do a recap? Like what happened?
Oh yeah.
Like really quick.
The Border Swords annihilated. Hush Legion annihilated. And yeah. And I was
And people
one.
mope. And Malice is dead.
Malice burnt. Malice is like dead. She died, but she died again.
Yeah.
And in 20?
Chapter 19, everybody. Yeah, chapter 20. Endless has stigmata. And a lot of weird dreams.
Yeah. When I told you that he had stigmata, you brought up some, Greek meaning for the words and stuff like that, because that is not familiar to you.
Yeah, I mean, that's, whatever.
Yeah.
For context for that, by the way, stigmata is like a thing in the Roman Catholic Church, and I was not really born into that, so I hadn't heard of that. Anyway, Endless has stigmata. Emerald has a crisis of faith, and Amanda is being obstinate until he isn't. Hish and Grip are hopelessly in love. Orphantal is 5 years old, but does not act the part in the least. Galan is very bad at portraying children, it seems. He always makes them more mature than everyone else.
Don't go into commentary. Excuse me, we are trying to do a quick summary and you're going into commentary.
And, Draconis arrives, the dragons arrive, and Anamander finds Kaladin and there will be peace. So,
yeah. Great. So 9 dragons. And Draconis gives the gift. Did you mention that? You mentioned the Terrandai gift.
Draconis arrives, gives a gift. The Terrandai gift. The river god dies. Grizzen leaves. That's it, right? Nothing else. What's a summary? We're too lazy.
No. Korea. Yeah. Korea and
yes.
Aratha.
Yes.
Yeah, that was the one scene. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all I'm saying. They watch Hood's army and it is doomed.
Yeah. It is doomed. Ooh, anyway.
And
on to the discussion proper,
because
right? Yeah. You have anything else to that?
May I bring up Toll the Hounds?
Yeah. Of course.
Because this whole Hood's army thing was told by, of all the people, it was told by Tulas shown to Kalar. And it is so discordant, I don't know how to take it. Tulas apparently fought with Hood, and he was one of the fallen dragons in this fight against Wall, and so on. But anyway, the way he builds it up and the way he says this was the only time the Jagged had armies and they marched against someone and all that. And then Kalar cries. It's a bit discordant if you ask me. I mean, as much as I love Kalar, that scene is a bit sad. And I don't quite believe it, but sure. Yeah.
You don't quite believe what?
Like, he wouldn't cry, that Kalar would cry over thinking about this doomed army which fought against death and it knew it is going to fail and things like that. Do you think he's the sort of guy to cry over something like that? I found it hard to believe. That's all.
We're talking about the same guy that stabbed Jetal in the gut because he's won. Right? That guy.
Yeah.
I mean, I 100% believe that Kalar would cry over this. No, I do think he would cry over this.
I don't think he would cry about this. Sure. Okay. Yeah, apparently Krupp agrees with you. So that's why Calvin cries.
So, to more pertinent matters. The
Oh, excuse
theme,
me.
if
Are you saying
the
that this was
yeah,
less
yeah, yeah.
pertinent? Excuse me.
I'm so very sorry. No, not at all. Right, discussing matters.
The things which
So,
interest you
there will
more.
be peace.
Yeah. Piece of
There will be peace.
of
A piece of peace. That line opens a novel. It is the first line plastered on chapter 1. You know, it is the. It is written. It is writ upon the hearthstone of Racon's Hold or whatever. And Galan takes great pains to elaborating on it. And a lot of characters in this book, including Hunral, which we didn't bring up in chapter 19, but Hunral poisons Thor's Vidon and says, "All I dreamed of, Commander, was peace."
Yeah.
And here you have, an Amanda that wants to end the civil war, that wants to mend the schism. Kaladin offers him, I will bring you peace. There will be peace. Draconis, who has stirred the waters, in his search for the Derendai, and he has stained it with blood because he's an idiot. And now, yeah, I cannot not bash Draconis on the last episode. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And so Draconis has now returned to the Derendai to give it to Mother Dark so she can cleanse it, so there will be peace. The next installment has There Will Be Justice, right? Which is admittedly does not open the novel, but it is on. Yeah. What do I think Walk in Shadow will be?
No,
I have no idea.
what do you think will be the? Yeah.
I lost
There will
you,
be
goddamn
peace.
it.
There will be justice. There will be what? Worship.
Oh,
There will be redemption. There will be forgiveness. There will be compassion. I don't know. You'll have to wait.
how to ask
Maybe there
Steve?
will be redemption.
What will there be in Walk in Shadow? No, yeah, I think there will be redemption school. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you would like that personally, yeah.
I would like that, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. We have peace, we have justice. What else do we have?
Worship, love. I don't know. No, nothing fits actually, other than redemption or forgiveness.
Yeah. The big philosophical questions of Kharkanas. What will there be in Walk in Shadow?
You know what? I think we should ask Nif, because by now he would have suggested the correct thing, and probably Steve would have taken it. We should just ask Nif. Yeah.
God.
He's not watching this nowadays, so I don't mind saying this. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Smile at everyone.
There will be something in Walk in Shadows. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you think? Because we're not talking about this much, right? What do you think is the thematic importance of There Will Be Peace? Because it comes up a lot, obviously.
There is no peace, right? What else is the importance there? They have no hopes of having peace, no matter what. And I don't know, it is like a society meant to not have peace, which is, I don't know. They're not meant to have peace. They can't. They in no way qualify to have peace, because I think it comes up so many times by now that I start to believe it. That if they don't have external enemies, they're going to find enemies of their own. They're just going to start. When the last beast is killed, they're just going to hunt each other, and all those things. So it's just a matter of time. I don't know. Is there any? What else do you think? Please elaborate. I'm ready to listen.
No, I think it's mostly because, especially that in conjunction with who we first meet it with, like Draconis. And then chapter 2 is like a Rosandra thing on justice, and then you have like an Amander or the Legion, like Hunral, and now Kaladin. I think everyone would go about bringing peace, right, in a different manner. And I think it bears questioning what is the best way, because that is a question that has been plaguing Lysander in regards to justice. That is a question that has been plaguing Anamander and how he is going to bring peace to the realm. Like, okay, do I preemptively strike? Do I wait for the Hush Legion? Do I go make amends with my brother? What do I do? You know, if I can't draw my sword in Mother Dark's name, what do I do? And then we kind of know how Draconis brings about peace, right? With Ragnavar. By just shoving the Gate of Darkness into this thing and like, okay, I'm going to have to kill a whole bunch of fools to keep this peace, you know? So I think There Will Be Peace is a very telling it's a telling adage in regards to the characters that we have, yeah?
No, I have a doubt. Not about the theme, but about, this Terrandai which he gifts to Mother Dark. It's like the gate to night, isn't it? The gate to eternal night. So that is like fixed in Kharkanas right now. But does he like dislodge it from there and then put it inside Ragnapur? And is that what happens? Or
yes.
What exactly happens? I have
Presumably.
no idea. Is it what
we
think?
We
don't know for sure. Yeah.
We're not sure. Yeah.
Okay.
There is a scene in like Call of Light where we see Draconis building the wagon.
Yeah.
And he has a whole bunch of people for like the chain and stuff. But I don't remember if at any point he like actively grabs the gate and puts, okay, you're gonna go here, and then I'm gonna forge you the sword, right? We don't get to see that, I don't think. So I don't
know. Okay. Yeah.
Frog.
So it's like, because the gate was brought inside a little Terrandai, which was like cupped in his hand. But once the gate has unfolded, he has to like do all this whole bunch of sorcery and put it inside his sword. He can't make it into a tiny thing and put it in his pocket anymore. Right?
That will be awfully more portable, Draconis. Just escape chaos yourself. Like, if he just outruns chaos, the gate will never be in danger. God. So obvious.
You know what? After talking for 2 hours with this summary episodes, we just get loopy when we start discussing. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
To direct this a bit further, you mentioned that Anesdia's grandmother being the last priestess of the river god is important. And would you like to elaborate on that before I do?
Because I don't remember much of Fall. Oh, you're going to elaborate, then let me just listen to you. Yeah. Because from
what I remember in
Fall of Light.
Yeah.
It's like Naren who gets to the shore, who keeps having Anesdia's visions, and because she is in some way connected to the river god, and she may have inherited the high priestesshood of the river god from her grandmother, and also blessed by Mother Dark, and got the dark high priestesshood. So she's 2 in 1, and she forgives Narad, and who knows how significant that is. Okay, now please elaborate. This was my half-remembered thing from Fall of Light.
That's basically it, right? And Ashley is in some way connected with deniers, and she is the bridging between the deniers and the Thai standee. Because in the end of chapter 4, I think, of Fall of Light, Anamander and Kaladin happen upon Narad, and Anamander basically asks them for help, right? And then he says, "Okay, I am going to pledge us, deniers, whatever, to her service. And Amanda understands her being Mother Dark, and Narad means her as Anestia. And then that, plus the fact that we have Lowy crowning you Twilight and Full of Light, with Finara Stone, and the old giving way to the new, as like the old Shake monasteries burn, and how they would rather their god actually be dead so they can use him more. But now, with the resurrection and then the death again of the river god, they are alone, so that it falls to them to make their own future. It's not like, oh, I can just abuse this god, and I can just siphon all his power till he dies. No, they're lost again. They have no power to speak of. And so it falls to Anestia to be like this guiding hand to like bridge the divide between them. All in all, Forge of Darkness is a pretty good fucking book. So yeah, that's the little I do remember from Fall of Light, and it's these little details that you notice on a reread. It's chef's kiss.
So there are these
And
small
now
dialogue things like
yeah.
like Rise calling Emerald to come to the courtyard to see this darkness bleeding and all that. The way these two talk, it's so obscure that if you're not, this is the way that the whole of Malazan is written, right? It's so much attention you need to put so much attention to it. He says something like, I hope that you would know what is happening, and she thinks that he would know what is happening, and then both of them are lost, and it's just beautiful. It's like so much trust Erickson places on you to get what he's trying to say. Instead, it's like, oh, I don't have enough exposition. How will I understand this book?
Yeah. On that note, I will yield the floor to you to speak to us of Mother Stark.
I don't have anything to say. Okay, Mother Dark is amazing. For one, she didn't want this gift, and Grisenfall is the the interferer. What do you call that? Someone who interferes in between. So anyway, he was the one who stopped her from refusing the
mediator
gift of Draconis, because
the middleman.
Not the mediator. Something worse than that, yeah. So anyway, he was the one who protected the silence, right? So otherwise she would have refused the gift, and then Draconis would all be like, oh my love, I give you this, and oh god, it was I can't stand Drac in Forge of Darkness, I'm sorry. He's like such an idiot. He goes yeah, so please, yeah, tell me.
No, to be fair, there is
we will lose like
some deeper level of motivation, supposedly. It's not just he's a hopeless romantic,
He is hopeless. Yeah. I'll agree with that he's hopeless. Period. He's hopeless. So see, he wants to protect the whole Teist because they are his domain. And so he gives him the gift of darkness so that he doesn't have to be present. Everything will be in Mother Dark's hands. Like she's near Azathanai now. So maybe at that time they didn't have the terminology, but she is ascended basically. She's finally completely ascended or something. And whatever. Right? She's a god. I know what you're saying. Yeah. So whatever. So he gives the whole gift to her. The whole power is in her hand now. And he thinks he's done a good job. But he didn't have to. He could have just stayed with them. Where was he planning to go anyway? Where was he planning to leave the Teist and go hang out somewhere else? That he can't be there to protect them against whatever Triss began. Because that's what his fear is, right? That whatever Triss has started, it's going to affect them and they need protection, and that's why he's going to be there and all. Whatever. There is no logic, and Blind Galan likes him a lot. So we can see that. Yeah. So, you asked me about Mother Dark. Yeah. She actively refuses worshippers. She asks them to be comfortable with not knowing stuff, with not looking, not behaving like children. In her own words, right? she names them children because she doesn't want to treat them like children. Like, grow up is basically what she's telling them. So she's amazing. And yeah, she deserves better worshippers.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. But anyway, the whole she does return in Toll the Hounds, right? I don't know when
Yeah.
she supposedly takes over Aranatha quite some time back. So it's been happening. Did maybe Rake did not have to like sacrifice himself? Maybe she was already going to return anyway through Aranatha, is what I thought. I don't know. But
I think okay, this is not really the time, so but since we're indulging ourselves anyway, I don't think Ray sacrificed solely to bring Mother Dark back. I think it's a message to his Andy that they need to move on.
do you
It's a passing of the torch. They've been holding on to Rake for too long. They have placed all their burdens onto him, and they have like nothing left, right? They're hopeless. They don't believe in themselves. Like look at Endest, right? The guy held off an Dark God for like however long. And he's like, no, I can't do this. I'm not worthy. He held Moonspawn underwater for however long. But he doesn't have any faith left, you know? Spinok is a hopeless romantic who just like weeps at like the slightest thing because I'm hopelessly in love and my friend is gonna die for it. The High Priestess, which is like, okay, well, I'm gonna keep shagging someone and then eventually we'll see what happens, you know? Without Mother Dark, they can't move on, but they also cannot move on as long as Rake's around. Because Rake is their lodestone into the past. He embodies her nostalgia. He embodies the better days. And that's why they need Nimander. That's why Aranatha is with Nimander. That's why Rake is doing this to bring Mother Dark back and ensure that they eventually move on, but also ensure that they don't have to look back at him anymore. They don't have to look like, oh yeah, by the way, we were better under the... No, he puts his faith in his son to pull through and say, you know what? I trust Andrus to raise you properly. I trust that you have the qualities necessary from the best of us to pull through and lead my people into the new age. Does that make him any less of a shit father for abandoning the Driftwood Valley? No.
It does. It totally does. You know that's the point I'm going to bring up. So yeah.
But
yeah, sure.
I am willing to concede that he's not as terrible as perhaps Draconis or Sandor are. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm not going to gloat. So please go on.
So, as for Mother Dark, in this regard,
he also.
Yeah.
No, continue. Yes. It's a lovely thought. Continue. No, please continue.
As for Mother Dark, I think she takes a particular interest with Rake's kids because they were raised particularly by Anarist. And they themselves have denied the Elaine blood they have in them.
Yeah.
Which, for the Book of the Fallen's purposes, is what caused Mother Dark to turn away. For Kharkanas' purposes, it's simply a metaphor for not getting it, for acting like children. At least, as far as maybe they do get Elaine blood eventually and they start causing mayhem, and that's what causes Mother Dark to turn away. But at this point in time, as the Fall of Light, we can treat Elaine's blood as a metaphor for Mother Dark turning away because the Andy would not behave like adults, like the way she wanted them to, like the way she told them to. But Andorist and Nimander and company do. They are the future of the Tyxendi, not Clip, not Leandara, who are too stuck up looking back into the past. And, okay, the story of the Andara and Clip's story is on some level a tragedy, but they're stuck on the same problem that the rest of the Dice are, that they're looking too far into the past. The only group of Andy that isn't is Nimander's group. Even Clip fails in this because he seeks to, because of past grievances, i.e., his people died, and Amanda Rake, mortal sort of must pay, right?
Must give
Amanda
answer.
looks past that. What do I do after this? Okay, say I get there. Will I confront Rake? What do I do? What do I tell him? And it doesn't matter. He barely even thinks about what am I going to say to Rake. He thinks more about his people right now, not in the far future or in the far past. Like, why did you abandon me? It's like, okay, we're here now. What do we do? And that is what the Andy need. That is what Nimander needs. That was the Andy needed then, and Rake wasn't able to give it. And that's why Nimander is so important as a mirror to Rake's story. Oh God, I love these books. Anyway, as for to close the thought and return to Kharkanas, there is a very interesting part here, about how I mentioned that Emerald mirrors Salind, and at the end, Emerald falls prey to the very same conceit. Mother Dark straight up asks her, "Name for me the apostate, the infidel, the heathen, because you surely will comprise those lists in my name and then kill them in my name." Because the Andy cannot live without answers, as they are asked to do, and that is their feeling. That is that they need to be spelled out. Be nice to people is my decree. That is all I need from you. That is all I ask of you. Just be nice. Be good. Be good. Be fucking good for once. I have quite a bit of thoughts on Anamander Rake in Kharkanas, but that is more pertinent to Full of Light.
Yeah.
Which we will not now. I did mention in the summary, and I do stand by this, that Rake in chapter 20 of Soldier of Darkness has touched upon Book of the Fallen Rake, exalted Rake, who is not being shot on constantly by Galan for being obstinate. So even our biased narrator has his moments of being nice to his characters.
You know what I think about this narrators being biased? It's like a double bluff, because Krupp also starts off hating Kaller and making him sound like an idiot and a villain, and then gives him this, complete redemption. I think that's what is happening here also. Galan says, "Oh, Anamander I have my reasons, and it's not his tale and all that." And then ultimately it boils down to him at the center of everything. So I think it's just a bluff. So that's what I think. Okay. But that was a very interesting thought, what you said about Drake sacrificing himself, not just for Mother Dark, but for his people. I've not heard that before. That's nice. Yeah.
Thank you.
Their whole reconciliation, I've only been seeing Stunny and Harlow and the way they reconcile, because Harlow comes and basically compels her, right? You can't turn away anymore. It's time. You have to look to your children now. Even Bellum Norm says the same thing, and this is what I think is happening with Mother Dark, right? Because she was compelled once by Aranatha and then again by Anamander's sacrifice. So it's very interesting.
Okay, to gush further. Okay, there is one scene that touched me a lot, and it's just I think is it Hood that says to Draconis, you owed an apology, and by whom? Who needs to apologize to me? And then he realizes it's Rake, and then it cuts to Rake's POV, and he's whatever, just give him that word, and he will do with it what he wants. I have other concerns, and it's finally Rake getting it. What Mother Dark meant. Just do the right thing, even if it doesn't give you anything. If there's no reciprocity, it doesn't matter. Just do the right thing.
Yeah.
Because faith cares nothing for bargains.
Nice.
So, yeah. That was for the Darkness, and
Toll the Hounds. Somehow we have also
Toll the Hounds.
Toll the Hounds along with this.
God damn.
What?
God, I'm on the verge of tears.
Oh, seriously?
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can talk fun stuff about how...
No. It's not a problem. It's just no, it's fine. God, I
Toll
have
the
to say,
Hounds. Yeah.
Toll the Hounds and Forge of Dark. If you've not read these two books together before, do it. It really works. It's really good.
Yeah.
Though there's a lot of contradictions, which we didn't tackle in this episode, but like a lot of
I mean,
contradictions.
we are never going to, like what Mother Dark advised, we should be comfortable with embracing
You know,
unknowing and unknowable,
embracing.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we are doing.
So,
We don't care. It's
which,
not our blood.
like, at the end of the day, that is precisely what we set out to do, right? Just not care about necessarily like the lore implications of what all this means, but read these books for these books. And it took us like
Yeah.
3 months, god damn it, but we did it. So
No, the thing is, we couldn't have gone faster. It would have ruined the
no,
experience, I feel.
no.
Right? Yeah.
There are a few guys on like the sub or Twitter that are reading this book like 1 chapter every day, or like 2 or 3 chapters a day. I'm like, motherfucker, are you gonna miss everything? Like there is so
Excuse
much
me,
under the
we
hood
did
in
the
these
same
chapters.
thing.
We did do
Didn't
the same
we
thing.
do the same
and
thing?
then
Yeah. So
and then I made a post on the sub about like I didn't get full light, please help me. So, you know, it happens,
you had an extra
right?
drawback for Fall of Light because you just listened to the audiobooks. You didn't have the book in hand. You were only listening
Yeah.
at the time, right?
Yep. And
So
but even if I didn't, even if I read Full of Light, I would not have understood what happened. I think at the very end I was like gonna be lost. Like, what the fuck did I just read? Like, why did Renard stab him? I don't know. I didn't know. I still I kind of know now, but I don't
we
have the
had to
complete
get
picture.
Erickson himself to come here and tell
We
us
had to get
why
Erickson
this
in, like,
happened.
because I had a preconceived notion of like, oh, you know, it's a tragedy, so like this and this would have to happen. Like, no, I don't think that's what you're saying. Like, oh, hang on. Yeah, maybe not. And then I went down the rabbit hole. But at the
Yeah.
time, I was like, oh, whatever. Yeah, it happens. Shit happens. So,
But I think before Fall of Light, I really need to read Dust of Dreams and Cripple God, don't you think?
yeah, we probably need to read different books. Yeah.
No, I
I'm
don't
not
remember much
sure.
of this Lightfall thing and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Darn. I don't know. I want to
What?
say we don't need to read all of the books, like both of them, entirely to get the point, but they're all interconnected, especially in like the Rippled God. So, god damn it.
Yeah, like why wouldn't
So
you
we're
read
going to need to
them
read
all?
another 2 books. Oh,
No,
bear with
we're
us.
not going to Yeah, you are not going to summarize, but I'll probably have to
Yeah, we're not
summarize.
going to summarize the, well,
Let's
we
see.
are, the sub is eventually, but we're not. It's not us. It's not Smileys, it's the subreddit. Go visit that.
Excuse me, it's me. It's still me. No, but I'll probably just skip through these 2 books. Right?
Yeah. And I
Is there
think
anything else?
before we desample any further, I don't think we have anything else.
No, I just
we're beating it at a horse right
still
now.
wanted to
I think,
ask you something.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
does
god.
Galarbaras appear in Fall of Light Dramatis? Does he appear?
I think so. He's in the wiki. I could look it up. Hang on. I'm gonna look it up.
I didn't want
Give me, like,
to,
2 seconds.
I stopped you from looking up in the other episode.
Hang on.
This is so wrong.
I'll look. I'll find it. Don't worry. It's okay.
I'm looking. Dracon's Hold, House to Rav, Citadel.
Yeah, he's definitely there.
Where would he
He's definitely.
Hust. Oh my god, they're all there. Taurus is not dead. Galarbaras is still alive. Oh god.
Yeah, no. Taurus not dead. No, yeah.
Okay.
Taurus not dead, but like the Hust
I'm-
Legion is.
Even
So,
Lahanis
like
is still alive.
Yeah.
Is Renek a denier now?
He always was. That's
Okay.
why he's treated the way he is. That's the sad part. Like he and his
Oh.
family and Jinia are all deniers, and Neris doesn't accept them, and
Oh.
they view them as lesser. Do you see why this fucking realm is horrible?
No,
Anyway,
but Renek thinks to himself that he's never denied anything because no one has asked him anything. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so sad.
I mean, denier is a really shitty term to describe these people. We've gone over this like 4 times, and I'll keep bringing it up. It's a horrible term. It's non-descriptive. It's prescriptive.
Right.
And it doesn't solve anything. It just creates further bigotry. Therefore, with that thesis out of the way of how bad that term is, I think we shall jump into Full of Light about a month from now. 2 months, actually. But, about a month from when you're watching this.
Yeah.
So, and a quick
That's the
note
time
before
that
we leave you
counts,
about
right.
Full of Light is we probably will cut down on the discussions like this because when you read every book, then there's little point about discussing, like, yeah. So we will probably limit the discussions to every sub book, or as we said earlier, I think we said last time, whenever we find appropriate, or none at all. We'll see.
We might do a mid book and then an end book thing. We'll see. We'll see as we read.
We'll see. But yeah. So.
Thank you. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you.
Oh, we've had a great season 2. Thank you.
Oh God, thank you so much.
Season 3.
Yeah.
Right. Bye.